So I think next to do is to do these stems first, and then we'll start on the last mouse. So I'm going to start with the warm grey one, and we're just going to fill these both in. Just going in between the lines. That's what we've been doing. I'm going to go with the brown ochre 10%. I think I'll come over to this one as well. We'll do them both together. So I'm going back to the warm grey one. And just come down to his ear there. Okay, let's go back to the brown ochre 10, and then we can get this line art removed. Okay, so let's get the rubber. And let's get these lines out. That's come out quite nicely. Okay, just going to go back with the warm grey one again, just tidy up the edges there. I've now got the burnt ochre 10%, and I'm just going to go over them both of this colour as well. Okay, good. Right, let's get those refined a little bit more. So let's go with the raw umber now. They are getting lighter as they come further down, but we need to sort of make them look less flat. I'm just sort of randomly putting marks in, and putting a bit more of this colour down the side just to give it more of that round look rather than just a flat, you know, flat at the moment. So we need to make it look more like a stem. I think a bit of walnut brown as well. And I think I might add a warm grey, 2 or 3. I think 3 would probably be better. It's actually a bit darker on this bit. I'm going to put a bit of burnt sienna in, and then I'm going to go to the warm grey 3. I clean that line up a bit there. Oh. Okay, let's get the warm grey 3. I think what I might go to now is, let's go back to the brown ochre 10%. I'm just going to smooth all that over. So I'm putting a bit more pressure on just to put all the colours together. Pretty much what we've done up the top, really. I have to put my pencil in an extender soon if it gets, or when it gets a bit smaller. Okay, that's improved it a bit. So we need to make it a bit darker in places again. So I think I'm going to go, let's go with the walnut first, and then I'm going to add a bit of dark sepia where needed. So up here it was a bit darker. It's quite light coming down this side. Let's put a few little bits on this side. And let's get the dark sepia. Okay, and I think that's okay for that. So I'm going to move this up and then we'll start on this second mouse. Okay, so we've moved him up. I'm going to start with the eye first with the black, and we've got a little bit of a light at the top of the eye, so I'm going to leave that. So I'm going to do what I did with the first mouse, just get the shape of the eye by doing the outside. This is quite a round, simple little eye here. And then I'm just going to fill in the bottom part. I'm using quite light pressure at the moment because I don't want to go too dark at this stage. And then we've got one here that we can just see a bit on the other side, so I'm just going to put a little line to show that it's there in view. Okay, well I think that's okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with the warm grey 2. I'm not sure if I went with the 1 or 2. I'm just going to fill this gap in. If you want to go lighter with this little catch light, then do so. But it's still quite dark in the picture, as you can see. I'm going to just sharpen that little black one up. Only a little bit. And then I'm just going to put more pressure on now and get this darker bit in. Okay, now we could go in with a blue perhaps, just to make it look a bit more interesting. I've just picked up a light ultramarine, and it's just to put a little dash of blue in if you want to. Just take your time with it, and it just gives it a bit more something there. As I say, it's a very little area. Just getting my black just to go over the dark a bit, just a little bit more. I think that's all we need to do for that little eye. Okay, so I think what we do now is I've got the warm grey 2, and I'm just going to come up to, I'm going to go work around his eye and just come up to this bit here where it changes colour again. So just using the warm grey 2 just to use as a base. This one's slightly different colour to the one at the top. It's a bit more browny than the other one. So I am going in direction of the fur as always. We've got the ear there. I think I'll bring that down to here where it changes again. Okay, and then the next colour I was thinking, I'm going to go with the nougat. Let's see how this looks. it sort of sweeps across this way. I'm going to put a bit more brown in, so I've got the walnut brown here. I'm not going to put this all over. And I think what I might do now, I'm going to go back to the warm grey 2 and just blend that all together a bit more. I'm going to take this up to the eye as well. Okay, before we revisit this, I'm going to get this ear in. Let's go with the light flesh for first, I think. It's quite blurry, this little ear. We can see a little bit of one over here as well. Just about see the side of it there. Okay, and then I think the I've got the colour now, the dark sepia, not the dark sepia, the sepia 10%. And let's get the shape of this one in. So it's darker on the inside. Okay, and I think that'll be fine for that for now. While I've got the sepia 10, let's get rid of that pencil mark first, and then we ain't got to worry about that. So I've just got a bit of pencil mark around mine at the top. Just want to get that out of the way. That's it, and then I'm going to go back in with the sepia 10 and just do some edge bits with this. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll do a bit down here, and then we'll darken this top bit up. So I'm going to do this lighter bit here. I'm going to go with the warm grey 1 just to fill this area in. Okay, now we've got a bit yellowy colour down here, so let's get the brown ochre 10. Hopefully I don't need to sharpen it, should be fine. Put a bit of that in there, and then that comes down here a bit more. Okay, and while I've got that, I'm going to put a touch of that up here. First going that way, it's sort of going up that way and then round. Good, okay. Actually, while I've got the brown ochre 10%, I just want to come in on this little orange bit by the side of his nose. Just fill that bit in. And put that bit on the other side there as well, actually. Okay, the burnt ochre I think would be good next. So I've got the burnt ochre. I'm just going to go over what I just did. Okay, let's go back to the nougat, because where we've smoothed everything over, we've lost a bit of colour. So I'm just going to go back in. Put that under his eye again. So we're just putting the colour back in. Okay, let's get the walnut brown back. And then this little orange bit we've just put in, on the side of it we've got a bit of a darker brown, so I'm just going to put this in like a little skirt bit, just going around his nose bit there. Okay, good. I think what I'll do now is come down here and then we'll put the nose in. So we're just sort of doing the surrounding areas. So yeah, let's go with the warm grey one, because it's quite light coming underneath here. Just put that bit in. And then while we've got this colour, we just do underneath as well. I think we just go to there then. And then let's get the sepia 10%. putting a bit of shade in. So let's go under his chin here. And I'm just coming down the side. Bring that down here as well a little bit. I'm just using this to soften up around his nose there a little bit more. It's quite a nice neutral colour, this sepia tint, so okay. Need to add a bit more brown coming down the side here, and possibly a bit more yellow. We were using the nougat, so let's go back to that. I want to put a bit more of it in this bit coming down here next to the stalk. That's it. So we're just sort of joining all the bits together. You do need to go over it a bit more with hot press paper. I would like to try the cold press actually in this range. Might have to give that a go. I do like this paper. Okay, let's put that little nose in. So, excuse me, I think we had the light flesh first. Right, and then to put a bit of a darker colour in, I think the colour we used for the feet, let's go with a brownish orange. I'm just going to darken up around it. Again, it's a very little area, so you don't want to put too much in. I'm going to bring that colour over the orange as well. While I've got this brownish orange, I'm going to put a bit of that in the ear as well. Okay, and put a bit of that on this one. Okay, now I want to warm all this up a little bit, so I'm thinking, especially around here, I'm wondering if I'll add a bit of burnt ochre first, just to warm it up again, and then I might go in with a bit of burnt sienna. put that over the top here as well a little bit. I'll put a bit of that down here. Okay, and then let's try a bit of burnt sienna. Okay, and I think round here we'll go to the dark sepia. I think that's sharp enough. We need to put in the little whisker bits. I'm just going to come around this edge in here just to get the shape. And then the tiny little whisker bits. And while I've got the dark sepia, let's just darken down the side here. I think what I will do now, I'm going to come down here, see how this looks, and then see if we need to darken up anything here. So I'm just going to move things over. We'll do his back and go from there. Alright, so I've just moved my bits around. I'm going to start with the warm grey one. Just going to do a light base of this colour. We've got the fur coming over this direction, so we've got a couple of fur direction changes coming down. Okay, let's go with the brown ochre 10%. I'm not going to worry about that pencil line because we're going to be going darker down there anyway. I can see a bit of burnt ochre in there as well, burnt ochre 10%. Let's if I can find the pencil. There we go. So I've got the burnt ochre 10%, sorry, just coming down the back here. Okay, I think a bit of nougat or maybe walnut brown. Let's try with the nougat first. So I've got some brown flecks coming through. It's a lot lighter, the fur down this side. I don't want to darken it up too much. Let's run that down the back. Just having a look what's going on down here actually. There's a little leg or foot there, I'm not quite sure without looking properly. We'll worry about that in a minute. Just go over this a bit more. It's quite dark coming down this side. I'm just going to do some little flicks off. So before I go any darker, I've got the brownish beige in the Pablo. Just want to put a bit more colour down here on the lighter bit. I don't want to put too much in because, as I say, it is quite a light creamy colour coming down, but we've got some more browns to put in, and this is blending quite nice. I'm wondering if the cinnamon might work. I'm going to go to the cinnamon in the Polychromes, just to give it a bit more of a sort of like pinky colour really. I think that's worked, and then I'm going to go back in with the brown ochre 10. Okay, let's go back with the brown ochre 10. I'm going to sharpen mine up. And then I can get a bit more colour. Okay, I think that's helped. That was the sort of colour I was after. So we're darkening it all up now. So let's go with the walnut brown for these bits here on the lighter bit. We've got a few darker strands of brown coming through. Let's use this for the outside as well. So I am putting a bit more pressure on now to get the colour. I think we'll go with the dark sepia as well to darken it up a bit more. I'm just flicking off a few little strands there of little bits of fur we got coming off. Okay, and I'm just going to gently go down this line so it's not a thick line. We just want it all to blend nice. Put a bit of that down. We've got a little, yeah, I think we've got his little ankle coming down here. So let's just put the darker bit in around it. So sort of, yeah, that's it. Okay, let's get the dark sepia now then, which I seem to have lost. There we are. I've got the dark sepia. Again, I'm putting a bit more pressure on. Now we've got this darker side in, we can see what needs to be darkened over here. So I'm going to go over this darker bit down the side of his face with the dark sepia. I'm just gently going over. I'm not putting any pressure on really, I'm just letting the pencil run over, just so it's all nice and smooth. I'm just going to put a few darker bits. And my pencil's not particularly sharp, but probably best not to have it too sharp for this. Put a bit more up here. Right, so what I want to do now is come down his little belly area. So I've got the warm grey one. Just going to bring that all the way down. Okay, just thinking about putting a cold grey in here, but I think we'll just use the the sepia 10, that's what we did. So I'm going to go with the sepia 10. I have already put some in here. I'm just going to bring a bit more coming down. Oh, we've got his little foot there. I'm just softly putting it over the warm grey. I'm hardly putting any pressure on. And then a bit down the bottom here. We'll get rid of that line drawing in a minute. And then we've got, I'm just going to get my brown ochre 10%. We've got a little yellow bit coming down here. I'm just going to get my rubber, take that little pencil mark out. I've just got the brown ochre back, just going to put a bit more of this in down the bottom here. On this side. I'll just go back with the sepia 10. I'm going to add a bit of light flesh as well, actually, because we've got a bit of pinky coming through here, just very lightly. Okay, what I might do now, I'm going to get my little cotton bud. Just going to soften that all up. Right, so I'm going to go with the burnt ochre now. Just going to add a bit more orange everywhere. Just warm everything up a bit more. Okay, and then what I want to do, I want to take a bit of this out here. I've come down a bit too far. I just want to take a little bit out there. That's it. Let's just get the warm grey one, just fill that back in. And then I think what we'll do is refine his nose a bit more. And get those whiskers in. So I'm going to go with the violet, caput mortuum violet now. And we're going to refine that nose. I think that's all it needs. I don't want to put too much in. I think that's fine for that little bit. I just want to do a bit more work here. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to get the burnt ochre back. I've just got the burnt ochre back, and I just want to deepen that colour a bit more. Yeah, that's okay. And then I think what we'll do next, get these whiskers in. I'm just going to bring the brownish beige back. I just want to darken this little area here. I think I might have taken that out when I just got the rubber a minute ago. Just put that in a bit more there. Okay, and then let's get these whiskers in. Now if I remember right, we used the light beige. So I've got the light beige here. I'm going to give that a bit more of a sharpen. Okay. Let's get these whiskers in. We've got a few up here as well. Hopefully that's picking up on that. It's such a dark day again. I think I've done this whole drawing with it raining outside. I might do a couple of darker ones actually. I might get the brownish beige. No, not that one. Let's go with the cocoa, I think, quickly. So I've got the cocoa here. Just going to do a couple of darker ones. What I'm going to do now then, I think, is start getting these feet in. I've got the light flesh. I'm just going to go inside of these lines and then get rid of them. So we've got 3 little claws up there, and then this one down here. They're actually quite visible, so that's good. And that one goes underneath. Okay, so let's get rid of the line art. It's such a small area. I'll probably take out my light flesh as well, but we'll give it a go. Okay, I think that's fine. By the time we get the other colours in, that would be fine. I think because the top one's quite light, so I think I might go with the caput mortuum, but do it lightly. We don't want to make it too dark. So I've got the caput mortuum. I'm just going to gently shape these little feet. So we've got coming over. I can always blot it out a bit with the rubber if I go in too dark. I think that's okay. I'm going to go back with a light flesh, just go over that. And then I'm going to get the warm grey 3 just to give it a bit of shading. Go back in with the light flesh. Okay, and leave that as that is. I'm going to put a bit of fur over the top of that in a minute. Let's go down to the second one. So let's just fill that in a little bit more. Then we'll get the caput mortuum violet. Okay, and then that's sort of coming down. They're so tiny. And then this one you can actually see underneath. So I'm going to put that in. So I've got it's quite dark under there, so I'm going to run that down. So just draw what you see really. So it's such a small little area, just do what you can. I'm going to go back to the light flesh. Just going to fill that all in. Okay, I'm wondering if the brownish beige or the brownish orange with the Pablo would be good as well. I think I'm going to leave that as that is now. Obviously we've got to put in the wheat behind him, but I think just darken it a bit under there. Get my caput mortuum back. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave that as that is. While we've got these colours, let's do this side now. I'll do the same thing that I was doing. So let's get the light flesh back. That'll be fine. Let's get the caput mortuum violet. Okay, I'll go back to my light flesh. Okay, good. And while I'm with this light flesh, let's do this bottom one. just going to do this bit here, and then I'm going to look at that one a bit more. We've got a little toe actually coming across here. Let's get that bit in. Okay, caput mortuum violet. I'm just going to run that down this side actually. It's quite dark, so I'm going to draw pretty much what I see, because can't really see a lot in this bit. Okay, let's go back to the light flesh. I'm going to fill that whole area in. So yeah, I think this is just the back part of his foot, and we just draw what we see rather than what we think we see. Let's go back to the caput mortuum violet, and I'm just going to blend that a bit more. Okay, and while I've got this, I'm going to bring that a bit further down on this one. Got the light flesh back. Going to get the warm grey 3. I think that'll be the best one. Let's try the warm grey 3 just for under here. A bit up here as well, perhaps. So there's more colours than anything. Okay, so I think what we'll do now, get these in, and then if we need to refine these feet any more, then we can. So let's go with the warm grey 1 now. Just fill this in. I might have to move my paper up a bit in a minute. Let's do this one. I think I'll do the rest of that when I do the tail. So I'm going to have to move it all up. Let's go to the brown ochre 10. Oh, there you are. So I've got brown ochre 10. Right, so I've just moved mine up. I'm going to start with the sepia 10%. I'm just going to come down the side here and separate this from the mouse. I'm just shading around the little feet as well. I think what would be handy is to darken this area. Let's just move my picture down. Let's go with, I'm going to go with the nougat, I think. I don't want to darken it too much. I just want to bring this forward. Okay, well that's helped a bit. Let's do it this side as well. I think we're going to have to darken the mouse up a little bit. Just run that gently down there. It just brings it forward. And we can continue to refine it a bit more. So yeah, it's a lot more darker in here, which we'll do. While I've got the nougat, I'm just going to run that across his body a bit more. So yeah, we definitely need to darken it up. I'm going to get the walnut brown. I've got that. Let's just darken this area. Put a bit of that down this one as well. Right, so I'm going to switch to the raw umber now. Start putting a bit more detail in these. Just put a bit over this side. This one seems to be a bit darker, so I think I'm going to get the sepia 10. Let's shade this in a bit more. I don't want to lose his little foot there. I'll get the dark sepia. Still need to darken it up, especially down here. I'll put a bit more pressure on. Let's get the raw umber back. Just want to add a bit more, thinking of the burnt ochre. Just got the raw umber here, just to add a bit more yellow. And I'm going to go to the burnt ochre. There you are. I just want to do this foot here. I just want to take a bit out. I feel I've gotten a bit too dark there, and then a bit heavy-handed. So I'm just going to go back in with the light flesh. Okay, I'm going to get the, let's have a look, sepia 10. Just run it down here. I'll do a bit more shading. I'm just doing a bit of tinkering around here now, and then we can move down. Get my, actually I might use my tumbo. We've got lighter fur just sort of coming over his back foot there. Just got the warm grey one. If it made much difference really. Okay, just come down the side here. I think what I'll do now is move my picture up again, and then we'll work down, and then yeah, we'll see if there's anything else to add. Right, so you may notice that I've got a clip missing. I haven't been recording. I don't know why, but anyway, let me just explain what I've done with these two here. So I've pretty much done the same as I have with the rest of it. I went with the warm grey one, then the brown ochre 10%, and on this side I've used some raw umber with a polychrome, and then on this side I've used the sepia 10%. So as I say, it's pretty much the same as what I've been using. So I've just missed these two out, so I do apologise about that. So now I'm going to do the tail. I've already put, or partly put in, warm grey one. I don't know why it stopped recording, but you haven't missed anything much. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get rid of the line art. Okay, I think that's all right. Just go over that corner there. Okay. I'm going to go with the light flesh. And this is a wrapping around this little stalk here. We've got the darker bit under there. And I think we used the violet pink on the other one. So let's go with the violet pink. Okay, so it's where it's wrapping around, it's darker in some places and not in others, so keep checking your reference photo there. And then this side it's darker this side. just going to gently go over it all, just gently. It's quite dark here. Get the sepia 10 now. Okay, let's go with a different colour. I'm going to get the cold grey one. I'm going to use this one to blend it in. Just to smooth it all over. I'm going to add a bit of caput mortuum violet actually, just down the darker side. Let's get the forgot what the name is now, the violet pink. Okay, I think that looks okay. Just going to get my rubber and just lighten it in places, mainly at the front here. Going to get my warm grey one back. Okay, and then let's see if the sepia 10 is dark enough. I'm just going to put a bit more pressure on. To darken So I'm just putting a bit more pressure on now. Now I've actually got the cocoa and I'm just going to use this just to darken it where it's needed, just a little bit more. That's better, I think. Just needed a little bit more darkening there. Okay, now I think we're pretty much there. I'm just going to go into the bit of fur hanging over his tail. I'm going to put a bit of burnt sienna in there. That's better, that warms it up a little bit there. And I think we're pretty much there. Just put a bit of that down here too. So this side's a bit warmer. That one's more of a grey colour. Okay, so we've now finished this drawing. I thought I would share mine, my completed one. A bit of shine there, but I will pop mine up on my Instagram and Facebook. A really fun little drawing, I think. I'm very pleased with that. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. And do drop me a comment, let me know how it goes for you, and obviously share your one as well if you wish to. I'd love to see your take on it. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next one.